Hello, what's up guys? It's me Lolling here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up the ZIRNOX nuclear reactor for the mod HBM'S nuclear tech mod for the version of Minecraft 1.7.10. Without further ado, let's begin. So to understand how to set up this reactor, you're going to need to have a basic knowledge on how a nuclear reactor works in real life. Basically, it just heats up water. I'm not going to go into details how. It just heats up water. Water turns into steam. Steam goes through turbines that generate electricity, and that's how basically you get electricity from a nuclear reactor. So yeah, what you're gonna need is two tanks. It can be whatever tank you want. It can be these tanks. It can be big ass tanks, which look like this, or you can use these tanks. Preferably I'm going to be using these tanks because they are smaller and they hold enough capacity to supply the reactor. We're going to need two tanks not for water, but one will be filled with carbon dioxide and the other with water. Carbon dioxide is used for coolant and water obviously to generate steam. So you'll need these filled up. I'm not going to go into detail how to obtain carbon dioxide in survival. Yeah, let's say you have carbon dioxide and water. Obviously, it's easy. A water pond. You fill them up with the buckets, or use a fuel barrel. Now we're gonna be taking the ZIRNOX nuclear reactor. Gonna put it. So the ZIRNOX nuclear reactor has 4 input holes. Input and output. There is 2 on this side here and 2 on the other side. It doesn't matter in which way you plug in water and output steam, super dense steam actually. So yeah, it doesn't matter in which orientation plug in fuels and the steam. It doesn't matter. We'll be taking the two pipes needed. You need fuel ducts. You're gonna be needing water fuel ducts. Fuel ducts, whatever. Oh, and I forgot, you have to set up the reactor to give and take. It will not take from the reactor, but they will be always connected, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah. Now the reactor has constant supply of water and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, it doesn't need a lot. Really doesn't take that much. The problem is water. You can use a ground pump or a water pond again, but I'm going to show you later on the video constant water flow. This is how you need it to set up. Now you need to put ZIRNOX natural uranium fuel rods. There is other fuel rods, I just never tested them and never had problems with uranium fuel rods. Alright, now the reactor is set up and ready to go, technically. You can turn it on. It will not generate electricity because it needs other things to generate it through. It will produce super dense steam, but you don't want to leave it for too long without any turbines or any means to take out the super dense steam that is stored inside the reactor, because it will explode. Alright, so now we're going to be getting into the second part of the video, which is how to set up the turbines, because the nuclear reactor produces steam and you need the steam to go through turbines to generate electricity. So yeah, we're going to start off by showing the types of turbines that there is. There is mainly 2 types of turbines. The Leviathan steam turbine, you have to know that it is big, but it's great. It produces a lot of electricity, and you don't need any type of template. You just need, there's like this lever, which you can switch it between different types of steam, except low pressure steam. There is steam, which is the first one. It's by default configured to steam. Then there is dense steam. Then there is super dense steam. There is ultra dense steam. The reactor produces super dense steam, so we're setting it to 3, the third one. Then there is the second types of steam turbines, the industrial steam turbine. Now these are small, they produce not as much electricity, but a good amount of electricity. Right? These needs templates. What this one needs is the steam, dense steam template. Let me explain. So, as the Leviathan takes the super dense steam, it converts it into dense steam. That dense steam needs to go somewhere, right? Now here's the great thing about Leviathans. You don't need to convert it. You just give it one type of steam, it just disappears with dense steam. That's the problem with the small ones. They store inside the output. It takes in dense steam, let's say it takes in dense steam, it outputs steam, and that steam needs to get out somewhere. It does not get out of nowhere. It stays in this turbine, and to get it out you need another turbine or put it in tanks. But why would you put it in tanks? It doesn't help. The tank will get filled at some point. So this is where you need a second steam turbine. By default, they are configured to take steam and output low pressure steam. I'm going to show you how to get rid of the low pressure steam. So yeah, now let's set it up real quick. Yeah, you need to know that it takes out super dense steam again. You need to take super dense steam pipes, then connect the Leviathan to the industrial steam turbine with dense steam pipes, then connect the dense steam to the steam turbine with the steam pipes to the turbine, taking the steam, turning it into low pressure steam. And here's our energy storage block. What this does, it takes the generated electricity from the turbines and put it into this block, right? You can connect this block to your microwave or whatever machinery you use, or you can just directly plug it in without this block. There is other means to transport electricity other than these cables, but I'm gonna show you how to use those in another tutorial. Now that we have the turbine part set up and ready to go, we need to take out the low pressure steam that this generator generates. Why, you may ask? Well, because if this will be filled up with low pressure steam, it could not generate more low pressure steam. It cannot take more steam. It cannot produce more electricity. With that, this turbine would not produce any electricity, and with that, it could not take the dense steam and turn it into steam because the steam storage will be filled up, right? And this one, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't care. It will just magically poof out the dense steam. I'm going to show you how to get rid of the low pressure steam. So this is the last part of the video. You need to set up the cooling towers. There is two types of cooling towers. There is the auxiliary cooling tower, which is big but not thick, and there is the cooling tower, which is thick but not too big, you know? So yeah, these will take the low pressure steam, convert it into water, and the water we can just send it back to the tank, and that will create a sort of infinite loop of water for the reactor. And yeah, you'll be getting rid of the low pressure steam and get back some water. So yeah, it's good. Here I'm going to show you how to set it up. So you need two fuel loops, two types. The low pressure steam one, which will go from this turbine like this, and then will output into water like this. Now the water pipes are done and everything is hooked up and ready to go. So let's try it out. Now let me do a quick rundown of what we did. Set up 2 tanks that contain the fuel needed for the reactor. The reactor is filled up with the ZIRNOX natural uranium fuel rods. The reactor outputs dense steam into the alveophon, then takes the dense steam into the industrial steam turbine, number 1. Then it produces steam, which takes it to the second industrial steam turbine, which outputs low pressure steam that goes to the cooling towers that produce water that goes back to the water tank and sort of creates an infinite water supply. So let's turn it on and see how it works. Just press this little button and it's ready. It produces dense steam, which you cannot see from here, but the turbines speak for themselves. They turn. The cooling tower creates particle effects, so if you did something wrong with the low pressure steam, there will be no particles. That means they generate water. If they will not be taking low pressure steam and convert it into water, there will be no particles. That means these ones take low pressure steam, outputs water, and everything works fine. Now let's see how much this generates electricity. And it generates a lot. That's a lot of electricity. So yeah, this is about it. This is how you do it. The hardest part really is to obtain everything, literally. Everything's hard to obtain. I'm probably gonna be starting a survival series someday and I'm gonna be at the same time showing how to survive, how to start off and stuff with the HBM'S nuclear tech mod. So yeah, that's about it. This is HBM'S nuclear tech mod, ZIRNOX reactor. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, which is the most important part because it's a tutorial, right? So yeah, thanks for watching. See you in another video, I guess.